Hey friends, you are with Kim Byers at the Celebration Shop, and today I'm going to show you how to use smart labels with your Cricut Joy. So smart labels are amazing because they do not require mat. So we're going to be cutting matless with our Cricut Joy today, and you can use the pen tool to write on them. So let's hop over to Cricut Design Space. I'll show you what we're going to do, and then we'll hit the craft table. Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to show you how I made these. So I was making some labels for the totes or the boxes in my craft studio, and I have a ton of them. But these are just a couple of the letterings that I wanted to use. So cookie cutters, balloons, construction paper. I need them for scissors and Cricut vinyl and infusible ink, and I need labels for all these different things. But I wanted to show you these because instead of just using the writing feature on the inside, I'm also using the writing feature to outline or give dimension to the labels themselves. So let me show you how I did this. So you just go into Images, and in Images you can search for label. So you just type label in the bar, which I've already done, so it brings up all these different kinds of labels. And so you'll see here that I have multi-layer in the filters. Let me show you how I did that. So I'm going to clear that filter, and we're going to Filters, and down here it says single layer and multi-layer. Now I chose multi-layer because I wanted to be able to turn the top layer into writing. So we'll select multi-layer, and this brings up all the labels that have a cut or two cuts to them. Okay, so if we kind of scroll through, you'll see some of the ones that I selected. So let's just take this one, and I'll show you how this works. So you insert it. Okay, so when you look over into layer, there's two cuts. I'm going to take that top layer, the blue, and I'm going to turn that into a draw line. Okay, so now you can see that the blue's no longer there, you just have this black outline. And so if you take the bottom, the purple, and turn that white, which is the color of our labels, voila. So now when you add text to the top of that, so let's say vinyl, whoops, didn't spell it right, vinyl. Oh. Okay, here we go. Vinyl. Then I'm going to write this element here or draw the outline, and I'm going to write or draw the word vinyl. And now what I can do is I can highlight both of these, and I will attach them so that when they go to mat, they all go together. Now, one thing I want to kind of give you some advice on fonts. So let's well, it doesn't really matter. I want to attach it. Let's just do a new text box, and we'll write iron on. Okay, so I prefer in a situation like this when I'm making a ton of these to use an all caps or a font that is not script. And the reason for that is if it's script, you're going to have to go up into letter spacing and reduce the spacing between each of these so that they connect, and then you're going to have to weld them so that your pen is not stopping and starting. And to find the best font, what I would do, I chose Felix for this, but you could go up into fonts, and if you use a filter, you'll be able to just look at the writing fonts. And so if you select writing, then it's only going to bring up the ones that are, can write, and then you can sort of scroll through those and pick a font that you like. And so say I chose Ashland. Okay, so now Ashland looks different, obviously, than it did whenever I was cutting it. So just make sure, so if you go up here, there's all these regular, bold, italic, you have all these choices. Regular looked like this, and when you turned it to writing, and chose a font that works best for you. Now I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to take vinyl, and my boxes, all of my labels need to be 3 inches by 2 inches at the max. So just go up into more and into size, and we'll highlight this and put 3, hit enter, and then it makes my entire label no more than 3 inches wide. And so now that will fit on my box. Okay, so then if we take these and we send those to mat, And make sure that you have, in your drop down, you have your Cricut Joy. Of course, you can make labels with your Maker and your Explorer, but today we're using our Joy. Select Make It. And it gives you the choice, without a mat, on a card mat. We're going to use without a mat because we're using the Smart Label. So we can see that our Joy is connected by Bluetooth. So if you don't own a Joy or you haven't made a decision about that yet, Joy only connects via Bluetooth. It does not have cords that connect to your computer, just something to remember. Okay, so here it's because our Joy is connected, it's giving me only materials that are available to work with the Joy. And what we're going to use is the Smart Label, the writable label. Okay, so it's telling us to load our black pen first. And then the other tool, and of course you can use different pens with this. The only thing you cannot use with the writable vinyl or the writable label is the gel pen. And it's only because the gel pen doesn't dry as quickly, and so it can smear. And so we just recommend that you use a normal pen or maybe a marker. Okay, so here we are on the craft table and I have my Smart Label, and this is 5.5 inches by 48 inches. So you can get a lot of labels out of this. So we're gonna open this up, and again, Smart Label does not need a mat. So we're literally going to take it out of the box. If I can get it out. There we go. Get it out of the box. And we're going to insert it. And this is white, so it's probably going to be hard for you to see on camera, but there is a lip on either side, and the Cricut Joy is going to just feed it right in. And it's measuring to make sure that you have enough material to do the project that you have coming to it on the mat. So that's a really cool feature too. So it's going to measure it. You're never going to be in a situation where you don't have enough material. So the next thing that we need to do is change our blade out for our pen. I have several different pen colors here. I am going to use black today, but there are some really beautiful pen colors that you could use. So I'm going to use black, and this is a Cricut Joy pen. So you just pop that open, lift out your blade, set it aside, because they are shorter than the other pens. And you'll notice that if you have another machine, you have to push it down till it clicks. In the Cricut Joy, you do not have to do that. So literally you're setting it down and you're just closing the clasp. Okay, so now we're going to use our mobile device or our computer to select to go, because the Joy has no buttons. And the Joy starts to write. Oh, wow. Such nice detail. Look at all the detail. I'm so glad I chose to outline or use the second layer of the label to be the decoration for the label. And if you wanted to at this point, you could actually have a different color writing on the label than you did outlining the label. So you could use a color to outline. One of the ones I had, which I was showing to you, were the red, the green, and the purple. These come together in a set. Or you could just stick with all black and white. Okay, so now that the machine has stopped writing, you just flip open the clasp, take out your pen, and reinsert your blade. So you just drop it in and close it up, and then on your mobile device or on your computer, select to go again. And now the Joy will quickly cut out your labels. You may have noticed that I went back into my mat and just moved my labels all around a little bit to conserve space. So you can do that really easily once you're on your mat. Just click on the item and move it. Okay, we're done. So now we're just going to be able to peel away the excess. Let's weed those really quickly. Okay, and now we have our labels to put directly onto our boxes. Okay, so now to apply the labels, you just want to bend the material, not the actual label. So bend, and you'll be able to peel it right off. And they're fairly thin. Okay, so here we go, and then we want to center it. I'm really excited about how these came out, and I'm so glad I chose to use the top layer to add additional sort of design or writing to the labels. I think they turned out really, really good, and I hope you guys will give this a try. Okay, so if you enjoyed making those labels and you love getting organized, I hope you'll hop down below and check out the Cricut Joy and all the things that it can do. And I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and ring the bell and join me for all my future videos. I'll see you guys next time.